By the right of the council, by the will of the force. Welcome back into another episode of the galaxy famous, Halcyon approved Jedi Talk Podcast. You are following us at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram. And thank you for that, by the way. Lots of new followers lately, and we're going to get into that to kick off the show. I am Atomica. Thank you for joining us. And by the way, youtube.com/Jedi Talk is as well, where you can see the latest edit of the Star Wars Holiday Special. Who knew that Lumpy was a little monster and he loved Lady Gaga like that? But thank you for joining us into the madness today. We are Jedi Talk Podcast. We got lots of things to talk about, but before I introduce my other co-hosts of this evening, I'm going to do that right now. The man, the myth, the legend, as our on hiatus host would say, Evan T. Boucher. Evan, how the fuck are you today?
Diga, and good journey, and it's the day after Christmas when we're recording this, so Merry Christmas to you and all. Happy holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, which
for the rest of us.
We had a good plan for Festivus, but kind of fell through, so maybe next year, maybe we can
it's all right.
get our life together.
I mean, if we're going to air grievances, I think the three of us need to be on the show together.
Yeah. He's got more grievances than most of us. And, and his are actually legit life grievances. Mine are just like, I like this ride in a theme park, blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
like,
you said it.
No, that's true. Like, it's, life perspective. Mm-hmm. First world problems are literally my problems. And as I say that, I just finished posting about Dinoland, because yesterday I spent most of Christmas Day in Dinoland. So
no shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's static. I don't know why static is.
It was I don't know. It was the first Christmas Day I've ever went to a park.
Yeah.
And of course I had to go to Dinoland.
So. Well, we'll start there. This is Christmas week. It's we are in the United States of America. Christmas is like a thing that most people celebrate here. America, right? So Christmas, sounds like it went well for you. You said you spent most of the day in Dinoland.
Yeah. Sadly, Taylor had to work, and I had it off. I texted you guys in our group chat. It was the first Christmas I had off in 5 years. That was actually a lie, because last year I had it off because I didn't have a job because Bob Iger Company. So, yeah. So that was technically a lie, but this was the first time in 5 years I had a job, but I had Christmas off. So I had it off. Taylor had to work. So I went to Dinoland while she was at work, and then we went to her parents' house, for a nice, lovely Christmas meal.
There you go. Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
We went to Whispering Canyon yesterday. They had a special Christmas skillet. They're normally the skillet place.
I didn't know that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Their skillets are bomb, dude.
They are bomb.
I love that place.
Yesterday was no different. They had a different dessert, different lineup, and it was holiday stuff, turkey, ham, stuffing, all that crap.
Do they still have ketchup, though?
Yes, ketchup was there, and everybody who asked for it,
okay, good.
They got it up the ass and to the left, and the tables had to run it over. Nice. Some people didn't understand.
No, I love seeing idiots that are like, what's going on?
Well, they're not idiots. He's never been there before, Evan.
No, they're idiots. They're
the ones in line. This Merpit 3D is closing down for Mernsters.
Yep. And they're like, good.
So good Christmas all around. Good times had by all.
Yeah.
We've got New Year's Eve coming up. Don't drink too much. Actually, don't listen to me. Drink a lot.
And it has to be bourbon, though, if you listen to us.
Sure.
That's the rule. It has to be bourbon.
What about whiskey?
That counts.
Does bourbon and whiskey count?
Coming from the guy that doesn't drink bourbon or whiskey. I'm just
I
for
know.
Brad. I'm trying to bring the
sure.
the Brad energy.
Sure.
Bradergy? I don't know.
Bradergy?
Yeah, Bradergy.
He's on hiatus. Stop talking about Brad.
I'm sorry. I miss the guy.
Don't text him.
I don't want to do that.
He's on a hiatus from life.
I don't miss him that much.
All right. That's the real thing. Hey. So we are Jedi Talk, and we had a mini giving away, or a contest giving away. What the fuck was I about to fucking
holidays.
say?
It's about giving,
Tap
Christmas,
dancing. This is true.
Gifts.
This is true. Yes. And this is the first time you're listening to Jedi Talk as your new follower on Instagram, which, hey, by the way, or you just found us by happenstance, we are not your father's Star Wars podcast. We are very non-PG, and
true.
We have been. I don't know if we've ever been successfully canceled, but it's happened at least triple-digit times. So
oh yeah, probably
that's what you're getting yourself into.
But we are the most serious Star Wars podcast. We never make a single joke and never resort to fart noises or anything of the sort, or especially mother jokes. We're above mother jokes.
We are about making jokes about my best friend's mother.
No,
so.
we would never.
Yeah, I would never.
No.
Never did it last week, although I did by saying I never would. But
well, I mean, here in a couple days we can say we haven't done that for a year.
That's true.
So hey, there you go.
So you can say we haven't made a mother joke this year.
Yeah.
So far. We'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah. How many seconds?
Mm-hmm. I know how many times, how many seconds I last with somebody's mother.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, serious.
Talking about Darth Plagueis' mom. Damn.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on. So I did hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. So
but if you're just listening to us for the first time, this is what we do. We get off on stupid ass tangents. But Tom's talking about a giveaway.
That's right. I am talking about a giveaway. Ooh, what's that? No, I'm kidding. So Evan. So the three of us. This happens on Jedi Talk all the fucking time. We all say we're going to do something, and either we all don't do it, or only one of us does it.
Yep.
So in this case, we all said we were all gung ho and go to Japan, and I promise you, I bought Celebration tickets. Yeah. I knew which Disney hotels I wanted to stay at, and we were looking into all that stuff.
Yep.
I knew it.
Yep. We all talked about it. I was like, should we all try to get like one suite together or whatnot? But then you were like, no, we probably shouldn't. And Brad was like, we shouldn't. I was like, that's cool. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, especially with a kid now, to me, it's easy just not to do that. And for everybody else, too, because I was bringing her with.
And that's why we were like, yeah, that makes sense. That's cool.
Yeah. So with that being said, I'm not looking at you. I got to move my microphone. I'm like looking at my figures. Because I'm manning the soundboard behind me.
You're like the listeners, not looking at me,
That's right.
I have a face for podcasts.
We all have faces for podcasts. We have faces for radio.
Yeah.
So I was going, and then just wife and I would just kind of not happenstance. Like we were always planning on moving out of the current home we're in, buying and purchasing a long, like this is going to be our house for our daughter to grow up in, kind of thing. And we just. A little bit of luck and a little bit of research, we found the place we wanted. So, and I'm giving the story to the people who entered the contest here so they know, not trying to scam you, not trying to BS anything. We're just random podcasts giving away Celebration tickets here.
Yeah.
So financial priorities came up for me and for those of you who have purchased houses before, you got to make a hefty fucking down payment. So
especially in today's day and age.
Yeah, and you got to start cutting this out, cutting that out. So Japan just right now, it just wasn't the smartest thing.
Right. And also you're gonna go to Disney Sea, Disneyland when you go, and you want her to remember it. You want
True.
Courtney. Well, Courtney will remember it, but you want.
I would hope.
Yeah, I would hope. Mm-hmm. But you want Lily to remember the memories of going to potentially the best theme park on the planet.
Yeah. Well, you said potentially.
Yeah.
And when I shared that reel the other day of Soarin', I had no idea it was sea themed. I just thought you were going to skip it because it wasn't. It was just like the regular. If it was regular, would you skip it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I am skipping things that we have here that are there, except for Pirates, because their Pirates is different. It's not the same. They have the OG Pirates. So yeah.
So Evan's going to Tokyo. He's going to be our correspondent there. He's going to check in when we're back. So then the house, and I'm a big Metallica fan too. For those new listeners, Metallica is going to be in my neck of the woods in the middle of the year next year. So I like to spend money when I go to Metallica. So I got to push that to the side. So I have tickets to give away. So we did that. We made a post on Instagram, and I, again, cannot thank enough the admins and the fine people over at the Star Wars Celebration Japan 2025 Facebook group. Over 70,000 people in there. I reached out to one of the admins and just said, hey, I'd like to post this here. And I know a lot of the traffic came from there, so thank you so much to those admins. You always have a home on Jedi Talk Podcast to come and talk about anything if you want to share an update in your group. Yeah, I know some of those admins are we could collab on, I think some of them have shops, like Star Wars shops, and yeah, good stuff. So, Evan, how about we just get to giving away these fucking tickets? These people have
give it away
now. All right. So, Evan, what are you looking forward to the most at Celebration while I kind of turn around and get my little bucket of numbers here and how we're going to pick the name of who's winning?
I actually don't even really know what I'm the most excited for. Potentially trailers, because I'm not making any digs here at Andor, because Andor's coming out basically that week. But I just I'm excited for the future of Star Wars. We know Andor's coming, so I'm not really excited to see Andor stuff because I'm going to see it that week no matter what.
Sure,
I'm excited to see an exclusive trailer or a preview or something.
Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
Yeah, it would have to be that because that's the next movie. So probably that. Because I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. And
are you purchasing a photo op or an autograph with anybody?
Sadly not, but, because we tried to save for the entire Japan trip. It's
of course,
it's a 10-day trip. So the money's going to places that is not all Star Wars. I'm going to buy some cool Star Wars merch when I'm there, but I didn't want to do money on like an autograph or a meet and greet because it's like, MegaCon, we did one, and like, MegaCon probably I'll do another one. And Celebration, when it comes back to America, I'll do one at Celebration.
Yeah, so bring it to Orlando in 27, please.
Yeah. Or do Anaheim so we can go to Disneyland. I'm okay with that. But,
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do Chicago, I guess I can go and not see Kyle.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I'll see somebody in his family.
Yeah, of course you should. Ooh.
I'll see his brother.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys didn't think that one. Y'all thought I was going to say his mom.
Well, it's hard to see Kyle because you always have to like look down. You're always just like,
short joke.
Where'd he go?
Short joke.
Yeah.
All right. So what I did was I went ahead and looked all the people or the number of times somebody commented. If you commented twice, and I didn't say this, it only counted as one entry. Nothing fell out right. So got the number. I have those numbers from 1 to however many people on there. I can't remember who commented.
69.
There you go. 69.
Yeah,
We'll just go with that.
Or 420.
So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Evan pick a number here. So Evan's going to pick the number.
For those of you that want to know, this is in a Yub Nub bug, the second edition.
Wow, the Yub Nub. Yes, it is.
It's kind of...
is that the second edition or the first?
I can't tell in the lighting.
That's the first edition.
This is first.
Yeah.
I had to look. In the lighting, it looks like it's a teal bluish.
I know. We have our Jedi Talk blue light on.
All right, here we
go.
go.
Yeah, whores have red lights. We have a blue light, yeah.
For those of you that are old enough to know Kmart.
Oh, I wasn't going Kmart. I was going to Hookers.
Concubine, which we can talk about later in the Skeleton Crew.
Oh, sure.
They mentioned a concubine. Okay, here we go. Drum roll, please. All right, here we go. It is number 25.
25. All right, I'm going to count. So, Evan, talk more about Celebration.
Well, this is my first Celebration ever, for those of you that don't know. So I'm just excited to be there, and I don't really know what to expect because I've also only done 2 conventions ever, MegaCon and HalseyCon. So,
all right.
Here we go.
I hope to hell I don't mess your name up. But congratulations to its_Netanya_ on Instagram for winning the Jedi Talk Star Wars 2025 celebration tickets. You are going each day and bringing a friend. Believe your name is Netanya Vargas. That's what you have on there. And Netanya follows us. So I'm going to reach out to Netanya sometime either before the end of the show or once the show wraps up. Congratulations.
Yeah,
how fucking awesome. You are going to Celebration. Hopefully you've got a way to get to Japan.
Yeah, the flights aren't cheap. I just booked my flight like a week ago. And everything all booked up.
And again, thank you to everybody who participated, everybody who followed Jedi Talk. If you at least listened to us once, great. If you don't, liking the post, commenting, even the follow. We post some funny stuff up there every now and again. We're watching Skeleton Crew. We appreciate the interaction and all, and I'm being completely serious.
Yeah.
Completely serious as a human being, putting the podcast personality to a side, because we all play a little bit up here. It's fucking entertainment, for God's sakes. But thank you. That means a lot to us.
Yeah. And for those of you that didn't win, you can just be mad at me because I didn't pick your number.
Mad at Evan.
That's my fault. Totally my fault.
Or it's just random. I think that was the most random way I could have done it.
Or Winston could have picked it. That would have been.
He would have eaten it, and then we would have waited like 5 to 7 days for him to shit it out or something.
Yeah.
Why does it take him? Probably not. No.
No. Okay.
I don't think dogs in digestive systems.
They take Sundays off and holidays.
My dog does not take any days off to shit. He shits multiple times a day.
Good to know.
Maybe he's the patoo pooper.
Well, he could be.
It's Winston. That's where he goes at night.
Yes.
So I'll be reaching out to that individual. Congratulations.
Yeah, and we love everyone that listens to the show because we listen to you guys a lot because you listen to us. Someone said we should do this top 10 that we're going to do later tonight.
That's right.
And we've done it in the past, but new characters have come out and we've aged and maybe matured. Hard to tell with us.
Well, I haven't.
But either way, we've aged at least, so our opinions might have changed on our top 10 favorite or best Star Wars characters. Whichever one, however you interpret it. That'll be later in the show. I kind of went with favorite, so I don't know.
I went with favorite.
Yeah. Okay.
I went with favorite. Yeah, and this is an updated list.
Yes.
I've got definitely some names that did not make it the first time.
Mine have changed because I didn't know this character existed back then. So,
I have a feeling
they didn't.
I have a feeling a couple of from the current show might be on there. Yeah, I had a feeling it's not over yet, man.
The Jedi Talk Holiday Special. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's right.
Lumpy's my number one.
We did mention, the Instagram, and we'll get. I want to talk about the holiday special for just a second, and then we will talk Skeleton Crew, and then our top 10 favorite characters.
Well, yeah, go ahead, talk about that holiday special, and then since you just gave a gift, I will give you a gift.
Oh, that's right. Yes. What do we got?
All right, I'll give you kind of part of it first. So this little part here is for you.
Oh, the Cyberpunks pick. Fuck yeah. That's cool. Did you get that from HelsiCon?
Yeah,
oh, that's cool. So Thanks, man.
I'm like, this dude is a guitarist. And
that's badass.
He's a sick pick, so I gave you.
That's badass. I like it.
And then this is for Lily.
Oh.
I know what she loves.
Oh, Daisy. She like it in a Christmas?
Yeah, it's like a Christmas daisy from like Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
Oh, that's so fucking
Twice Upon a
cool.
Christmas. Yeah.
Oh, she'll love that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Thanks, man.
And then the meatier part of your gift is this.
The meaty.
Yes.
Ooh. What are these? Badass. Was this at HelsiCon?
Yeah, that is a HelsiCon exclusive.
Wow. I didn't even see this.
Yeah, it was in like the back corner of the merchandise.
Shit, who made it?
I'm going to have to find them on Instagram. I feel bad. I don't have it right off the top of my head, but that is a coaster that is like wood engraved and handmade. I don't know how they did it, but it's a blue bantha from like not muster stations, but stations on the bridge.
Oh, fuck.
So they had all of them, had white wampas.
Oh,
and
man. If I saw that, I would have bought all of them.
Yeah,
Damn, I purchased them all. Fuck, that's cool.
They were mostly sold out because a lot of people were buying the whole set. So,
well,
but I went with blue bantha because I'm like a bantha, and we have it on the drop too.
Well, and it's funny you give the Christmas gift here. I was going to give this to you on air, and I guess I could make it your Christmas gift. I didn't think about it, but the Retro Grievous, it's yours. Take it.
Just him?
Yeah, just him.
Sick.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
He's yours. Take him.
Love it, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, you are a bigger Grievous fan than me. I thought about it when you were looking at him last week. I'm like, I'm just going to give it to Evan.
Dude,
so
love
there
it.
you
Thank
go.
you,
Merry Christmas, yeah.
But the people that made that awesome coaster is Bando Woodcraft on Instagram. So
all right, go check it out.
Give them a look up on Instagram, Bando Woodcraft.
Bando Woodcraft. There we go.
They had a bunch of stuff. They had
Woodcraft.
wooden lightsabers made, like full-on wooden lightsaber hilts.
There we go. Make sure Jedi Talk follows them. There we go.
They had a ton of sick stuff.
All right. Go follow Bando Woodcraft, and I will keep me honest to post a picture of that in for Instagram and put it in our stories later.
Like, look at that. They have the Halcyon saber, but wood.
That is
those people are crazy,
nice.
Man. Yeah, the people in that community are so talented. I don't understand how people get this talented.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I won't give too many spoilers away, but Jedi Talk made an edit of the Star Wars Holiday Special. Really me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't say Jedi Talk.
I know. I just used the name. I used the name. I used you as inspiration, Evan. I didn't make a
yeah.
Nobody made a joke about you this time.
There you go.
But check it out. We do it every year. I think, or I do it every year. It's my new favorite tradition. I don't know. Check it out. It's on Instagram. We finally uploaded it to YouTube. YouTube said you can't make any money off it. Well, no shit. I ripped it from somebody else. He didn't take that video down. I love how Disney just isn't claiming that they own the holiday special because it's still on.
They used to I don't know if it was Disney before or after they bought it, but some time ago it used to get deleted. Like as soon as somebody would post it, it would get taken down. So I can't remember how long ago that was, but
I credited the account I ripped it from.
Yeah.
They're
from Ohio.
On our YouTube. Yeah. That's one of my favorite jokes in it.
Me too. And the Hulk part at the beginning.
Oh yeah, it's like who knew in mere minutes people would be upset they missed the Hulk. I think my favorite part about it is the 90s sitcom ending.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. If you hate it, tell me. Go comment on our YouTube or Instagram so it boosts the algorithm. If you like it, tell us.
Yeah.
Just boost the algorithm. We're trying to make people fucking laugh. This is weird. That is a rated R edit, by the way.
Yes.
That is rated R. They thought, I'll give a spoiler alert away. Chewie's family thought Luke Skywalker was Ellen DeGeneres.
That part was good, too.
For a second.
Mala was like, Ellen, I love your show.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
All right. So check it out. Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram, youtube.com/Jedi Talk. But we are here. Spoiler alert. Before we get into our top 10, we're bringing them back. Talking about Skeleton Crew Episode 5. And right off the bat, Evan, my favorite episode of the series thus far.
I don't know.
Easily.
It's one of my favorites. It was, I don't know, man. It's probably Episode 2 is pretty sick. Episode 3 is pretty good, and this one was pretty good.
Agree. I think.
Well, 1 was good too, but those are my favorites. 2, 3, and 5. I don't know about the order, but those are the best 3 so far.
I believe I would agree with you there. Episode 2, I'd put over 3, but 5 I was excited after it. And I was just like, man, all right.
Even though we'll get to it, and like you said, spoilers, but even though we kind of saw it coming, it was still like, I can't believe this. Like, I was kind of on the edge of my seat. I had goosebumps when it was happening. So, like, we kind of saw it coming, but it was so well done that it still got us.
That's it. The way it was done was incredibly well.
Yeah.
Incredibly well done. So, where do we start with this episode?
Well, I have, like, a beat-by-beat breakdown.
Do it.
Like,
I'm gonna leave it to you.
I watched it on Christmas Eve when it came out, which if we want to get in the nerdy stuff later, like, I don't know about releasing things on Christmas Eve, if that's a good idea, but so I watched it initially on Christmas Eve when it came out, but then I watched it again this morning because I try to watch all of these at least 2 or 3 times. Last week's episode I still only saw once because it wasn't really that great, so I don't know. And the recap of it that was on this one was good enough. It showed you all you need to know. So I don't know if I'm ever going to watch episode 4 again, but episode 5.
That's true. That was a big recap, yeah.
Yeah. So it starts off, and we finally get to go back to, like, the parents back on Ad Atten, how they're doing it. And they're working in the same place that, like, Andor takes place. They're working in, like, an Andor office. So they was, like, seeing what they're doing. But
well, it wasn't the ISB.
No, but same idea, just like cubicles.
Sure.
Yeah. It had the same aesthetic, you know. And
yeah, right.
And at the end of the episode, we find out what they're working in, basically, and what it is. And now it really makes sense why it looks like it does and, you know, what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So Wim's dad works there, and Neil's mom comes in and was like, you got to get a communication out past the barrier. You're the only person that can get these clearance codes. Mm-hmm. And Wim's dad, Wendell, is like freaking out. He's like, I can't do it. I'll get fired or whatever. And then she's like, just use this. Don't let anybody see it. She gives him a little, like, slicer thing, which I'm sure is going to be all over Etsy if it's not already.
I've already bought 12.
Right.
No, I'm kidding, yeah.
So Wim's dad, Wendell, goes and plugs it into his computer in his cubicle, and a security droid comes over and is like, there's an energy surge going on at your cubicle. What's happening? And Wendell's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So this part was pretty funny. Like, he gets up, and the droid's like, well, then what are you hiding behind your back? And he's like, nothing. The droid's like, let me see your hand. So Wendell shows one hand first, hiding the thing in his hand behind his back. And then the droid's like, show me your other hand. So he switches hands. And the droid's like, show me both of your hands. Yeah. That was pretty good. I'm like, yeah. So the droid catches him, takes him to, like, the supervisor of the office they work in, which is Fern's mom, Farah. Right. Farah. And Farah, like, immediately, like, tells the droid to delete all memory of this and shut down. So the droid, like, shuts down. So
Thank God.
Got, Big Brother is no longer watching, at least for the moment.
What you fucking think? Big Brother's watching now.
I haven't seen any birds. I don't know. Oh. There's no birds on Aladdin, right?
This is, no real birds.
Yeah, there we go.
This is me you're talking about here. I'm sure one of the many 3-letter agencies have got this tapped for me. They're just waiting for me to.
NFL.
Yeah. The NFL's just waiting for me to become available, pick me up as a free agent.
Yep.
So
you can paint your nails, and then the whole city will hate you. That was from our group chat. That's
it was.
I didn't know was a thing until our group chat. Some football player painted his nails, and
Caleb
everybody
Williams
hates him.
Paints his nails. Apparently, he's the quarterback of Chicago Bears, rookie this year. He's playing out of his mind for a guy that get his ass handed to him by large men every week. Hey, because his offensive line blows ass. So just oh my God, he paints his fucking nails. Who gives a shit? Who fucking cares?
Who cares?
You use Just for Men gel on your fucking gray hair and the pathetic beard that you grow, you fucking Chicago meathead fans. You see what you started, Evan?
Yeah, I did.
Join
That's
the
what we do here in Jedi Talk. I love it.
Skeleton Crew.
Yes, so Farah is like, okay, we need to go through the proper channels, go through the supervisor they keep talking about, which we might have a hint to it, who that is finally.
I don't like it.
So she's like, we got to go through him. And Wendell's like, nothing's going to happen. They're not getting anything done. We can't go through them. We got to do it ourselves. So then Farah's kind of like, okay, what's your plan? And then, like, that's basically all we get for now. So they're still working on a plan to get a message out to the kids. Because Wendell said, I'm not going to give them coordinates, or I'm not going to send anything that gives away Ad Atten. I'm just going to get a message to the kids. So we'll see how that goes. We got 3 episodes left for that plot line to kind of tie up. I'm sure they'll do it, because they've been putting the parent plot line in just here and there, just enough.
Episode 6, I think I'm putting a lot of stock into, because it's directed by somebody who knows the Mandoverse well, and that's Bryce Dallas Howard. So
nice. I forgot who was doing which one.
That's right.
In the finale is like the
John Watts
person. Yeah, the overall guy. Yeah, John Watts. So we like flash to the Onyx Cinder, and like not yet. Right? No, yeah, it is, because they hauled SM-33 onto the ship.
Oh,
Still
right.
turned off. They like strap him down.
That was one of the funniest moments.
And they're like,
what comes up with him?
Yeah, they're like, so what do we do? Like, if we activate him, he's just to try to kill us again. And KB's like, no, I like deleted that protocol. So they turn him back on, and they're like, don't kill us. And he's like, I won't. That was directives from the old captain.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, they're good again. So then, basically,
it seemed
trying to.
I don't know if I call this a problem, maybe nitpicking, but man, it was easy to just get SM-33 to stop trying to kill him.
Yeah, because they turned him off, and then they just like deleted that part of his memory, I guess. And then because later on he's like, it's glad to have me memories back.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't know. So I don't know, because it's kind of like Babu Frick kind of thing, you know?
Sure.
Where it's like, if you know how to do it in a droid, it's probably pretty easy.
All right. That's fair.
So they start questioning him, you know, it's like, so who was your former captain? And like, all the, you know, tell us what's going on. So SM-33 tells him that his former captain was a guy named Tak Renaud.
Big reveals in this episode.
Yeah.
Tak Renaud.
Never heard of this guy.
Nope.
But he's a big deal in the pirate
pirate
world. And he tells so he tells him that, and then Jod is like the Tak Renaud. And like that he's like, this means that this is the Onyx Cinder.
You're like,
and
so apparently it means something.
The kids are like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you guys don't know. Tak Renaud is like the most infamous pirate captain, and this is like the most infamous pirate ship. Yeah. So that would mean that Tak Renaud crash landed the Onyx Cinder on Ad-Atten because he was searching for Ad-Atten. He was searching for that treasure. So I'm going to assume Tak Renaud might be the supervisor. I don't know, because like he's probably still around. Because like, I mean, Jod says he's like, the ship disappeared, Tak Renaud disappeared, the crew disappeared. So it's like, the ship is here, and SM-33 is still here. But what happened to the crew and the captain?
Yeah, all right. Let's riff on that for a bit.
There was a couple of bodies in the ship. They've shown like 2 or 3 skeletons, but
right.
That's not a whole crew.
No, I when they announced that I think it was later in this episode, they say the crew gets biffed and shit, or he killed or Tak kills the crew. I just assumed those dead bodies.
That's what I would assume, because that's
they found where the crew.
Yeah, and that's what like Flynn does in Treasure Island, Captain Flynn.
Right,
like, he buries his treasure and then hides it, and no one knows where it is, and then he kills his whole crew.
They eventually, if I'm going to Goonies, if they're following that plot line, they eventually find, his name is escaping me. It's been a while since I've seen Goonies, but they find him dead. They find him dead, buried with his treasure. So maybe that's something they find Tak Renaud like that. But Tak Renaud being the supervisor makes a lot of sense.
Could be. Yeah.
Could be. I'm just trying to think, like, because it's. I don't want to. I know we're jumping ahead here, but maybe we could talk about it when we get to the Old Republic Mint thing.
Yeah, that's the big reveal at the end. Yeah, when we get there. So then, SM-33 says we got to get to Captain's lair. It's in this planet. He doesn't say the name of the planet, so that comes up later.
Not yet,
too,
yeah.
Where he goes, it's in
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Skull Ridge Mountain is the name of the lair. It's in Skull Ridge Mountain, which sounds piratey. Like that's a good name. So they're like, take us there, SM-33. So he puts in the coordinates, and while they're flying in hyperspace to get there, SM-33 is telling him the story of Tak Renaud, and he just casually mentions the captain's concubine, and the kid goes over the kids' heads. Yeah. And then Jod's kind of like, all right, that's enough for story time, SM-33. let's cool it with that. And then the kids are like, no, what's a concubine? Yeah. Tell us. And they glaze over that, thankfully, and they don't tell him what a concubine is. So, but this is
hopefully it comes up later.
They've done it well throughout the series to kind of like humanize Jod and make him feel like a good guy and seem like a good guy.
They did that this episode.
This episode, especially like this part here, is like him being a dad. Be like, kids, you can't know what a concubine is. I'm your dad. I'm not gonna tell you. And then minutes later, he goes and finds Wim crying because he's like, we're still not going home. I miss my mom and dad. We're still lost. This adventure sucks. It's not what I thought it would be. And then Jod's like, you're gonna see your mom and dad soon. And Wim's like, not my mom.
Yeah.
And then Jod's like,
oi.
Yeah. So then Jod goes and sits with him, and like. This is them just being like, oh, look, Jod's a good guy. He's such a good guy. He's being a dad.
I did not see coming what came.
No, so that's what she said.
Hey. But, no, I'm talking about the line he drops.
So, he dances around some stuff talking about what you need to do is just forget all your attachments.
Fuck them.
Attachments are bad. Don't, forget about everyone and everything. It's just you, which is kind of
fuck them.
A roundabout way of just getting straight to the point of what Jedi say. He was just being very direct. They're just like,
he was.
No attachments. The Jedi were not as direct about it, but that's what the Jedi were. Attachments are bad. And then he just straight up says Qui-Gon's quote.
He does.
So I'm like, how do you know Qui-Gon's quote?
How do you know Qui-Gon's quote?
Yeah.
Quote. Like, that right there, I want to stop, because...
Word for word, too. It's not a paraphrase. It's not like a reference. It's literally the quote.
He said it verbatim. Your focus determines your reality.
Yeah.
He said it. And I stopped. I went back and I did it again.
Yeah.
And watching with my wife, and I was just like, that's word for word Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. So...
Qui-Gon probably had a few concubines, too. So
hey, that's all right. Yeah. Whatever.
That's why he's Brad's favorite, That's probably not why, but...
Well, yes, it is. Let's be honest, Evan.
Oh, okay.
Let's be honest. Hey. Oh. Hey. So, speaking of Lieutenant Croy, I ran into Voyager number 2 Croy on Planet the other day. The day before we got kicked off.
I saw him on Christmas Eve, I think.
And had a very, very nice chat with him.
Yep.
Had a nice chat. We didn't talk about that, but we were with my daughter, and he's seen her before. Yeah. Like I think in February, actually. Mm-hmm. When I went last to Oga's with some friends, and he commented, he's like, well, she got bigger, and
dang, man.
yeah.
He's
so
great. They're all great. He's
great,
yeah.
Oh yeah. So
we saw him on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And we did a little bit of like just treat yourself kind of, because it was Christmas, and it's
sure.
Like I wanted to buy the Galactic Star Cruiser jacket, the Bail Organa jacket.
Oh yeah.
Because I still hadn't bought it, and I'm like, we got our discount right now, and it's gonna sell out eventually, and when it's gone, I'm gonna kick myself.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm glad you got that. Yeah,
and it kind of looks piratey, so like it's potentially a character I could.
It's heavy.
I could go. Yeah, it is pretty heavy.
It's heavy,
but it's like, so I bought that, and we finally bought the Camtono. It's
like
a pirate's got to have a treasure chest, so I got a place to put treasure. But he saw us with all this stuff, and he's like, you two again. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, it's this time of year where people always regret their decisions a month later. And I'm like, true. Yeah, a month or 2 months or 3 months. And he's like, yes, down the line, of course. Like he was playing it up with us. So yes, it was good to see the lieutenant again.
Yes, it was great to see said lieutenant. We took a picture and so yeah, good stuff. So anyway, go back. You were talking about concubines, Evan?
Yes, of course. So yeah, your focus on the concubine determines the reality you have with the concubine.
All right. Yeah. So let's stop there. Okay. So what is it? How old is Crimson Jack, Jod, or whatever?
He's got like another name.
We found another name
every
today.
Day, yeah. And the kids even say that. They're like, I think it's Neil too. He's like, how many names does he have? Like that was pretty good.
So middle age, we got.
He's probably 50, 40,
okay.
50.
So
I want to say 40. I don't know. I don't know how old Jude Law really is, but
but he could have known Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, I would say so.
Was he a child? So was he a child that survived the Purge, that was taught enough how to use the Force? But obviously, Jod's Force powers, which again, I still had the slightest suspicion he was using parlor tricks until this episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does that with Wim to not a parlor trick, but he uses the Force again with Wim to like pull his data pad back and put it in his hands. And I think Wim even says it's like, so you're not tricking us. You are using the Force or something like that. He's like, so how do you do that if you're not a Jedi? And yet again, Jod never says I am a Jedi.
Right.
He just keeps using the Force and saying Jedi-like things, especially this quote. But I'm sure he knew Palpatine, Qui-Gon. If to say that quote, like, there's no way you would just coincidentally say that same quote.
Jude Law is 51 years old. He's going to turn 52 here in a few days.
I don't know if he looks 50, dude.
So happy early birthday to Mr.
Captain
Jude
Silvo.
Law. To Captain Silvo, right? Whatever name you feel like going on. His birthday is coming up on the 29th.
Damn.
So,
I didn't think he was 52. I thought he was like maybe 40. Like he looks younger. So I guess. I mean, if Silvo is 40 to 50, if he's 50, he definitely knows Qui-Gon, right? Because that would be...
Yeah, I would think...
This is 35 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Because this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And Return of the Jedi is like 30 years after Revenge of the Sith, right? And that's probably less. 25? This is around, let's just say 30. So, I mean, that would mean Jod or Silva, whatever, would be a young teenager.
All right.
Potentially.
Skeleton Crew takes place in 9 ABY. Okay? Yeah. So Order 66 year. I'm just confirming this. 19 BBY.
Okay.
So, I mean, shit, no, he could have been a little bit older. So he definitely could have known Qui-Gon, but he's not a Jedi.
What if he's a part of the Lost 20, maybe? I mean...
Ooh.
Which would be funny, because they have a lot of Qui-Gon connections, the Lost 20. Like Dooku, who trained Qui-Gon.
Shit.
I'm pretty sure Dooku's a part of the Lost 20.
Do you think we're thinking too...
Well, they'll probably never say the words Lost 20, but timeline-wise, it makes sense where he could be a member.
Let's get a Jocasta Nu.
Yeah.
Would we get a Jocasta Nu reference? I mean, she just talked about it, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Just because she mentioned the Lost 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know if she ever mentioned it. I think it's just there's busts in Attack of the Clones, and we all were like, what are those busts?
We just make those, yeah.
Yeah.
We just make
so
that
they
connection.
wrote a book. They're like, oh, those busts are the Lost 20. There you go. There you go, nerds.
Maybe he is. Unless we don't know. Unless there's more lore about the Lost 20. We could be way off.
I don't know anything about it. Really.
We don't. I'm sorry. We don't either. But that would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be lots. Maybe he ran off.
What if he was like Sifo-Dyas' Padawan? That'd be cool.
Sure. Yeah, could be.
Because then obviously his master was killed, so then he was like, well, now what do I do? Because he says he's lost and alone.
Mm-hmm.
When the kids are like, what's going on with you? And he's like, I'm like you. I'm lost and alone. So, I mean, that would make sense that ever since he was a Padawan, his father figure master
he could
was
have
killed, and now he's lost and alone.
He could have never been knighted, so he doesn't think of himself as a Jedi.
Yeah.
Or he just simply does not call himself a Jedi because he doesn't want to be hunted.
Yeah.
There could be lots of things going on.
And, like, if he was... I don't know if he'd be with Sifo-Dyas when he was killed, but he was killed by the Pikes.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Pikes are in the criminal underworld.
It's true.
Is tangentially piratey. I mean, I know we're kind of reaching, but that's another option. He could be Sifo-Dyas'...
yeah, the fact that
apprentice.
He could have a past that's just secretive.
Yeah.
Like the Joker. DC Comics, like his backstory, it is unofficial.
I mean, Lady Gaga's involved somehow. That's all we know.
Watch the holiday special for that. I agree with Mala and Grandpa.
Yep.
Grandpa Wookie. Itchy, right? Itchy.
Yeah.
Awful name for a Wookie.
There's got to be a Scratchy then, right? That implies the existence of Scratchy.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a little mouse droid.
Yes.
So, Jod, Crimson Jack could be a lot of things, and we could talk about it forever. But the Qui-Gon mention quote is crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just like a mulligan, right? Or if that's just like a
red herring.
A red herring, yeah. What I said,
I don't
mulligan.
know, like mulligan. I don't know. Could be. But then this isn't a quote from anyone else, but it's a good quote when he's like, "Make your life the one you want to live." And I'm like, yes, that's a quote that I've really started to adapt in the past year, because it's like I'm just gonna start making my own happiness and making my own stuff, because whatever I love is getting taken away. So it's like make it the way you want it.
That's a fantastic, just motto to live by.
Yeah, life motto.
Life motto.
Yeah,
I like it.
So then they eventually are coming up on the planet. They get to the planet, which is Lanupa, apparently. It's one of the names, because SM3 is like, it goes by many names. I love SM33, man. He's just he's not willing to accept what's happened to his captain and his treasure and the planet that his captain lived on. He's not okay with it. His banter's great.
He is not okay with it, no.
Yeah, so two security ships come up to him as they approach, and they're like, welcome to Lanupa. As long as you keep the peace or whatever. It's like, this is a peaceful planet as long as you keep the peace.
Did you say welcome to the Fupa?
Yes, the Fupa, yes.
Welcome to the Fupa planet.
A peaceful Fupa.
I don't think any Fupas are peaceful.
Well, if you keep the peace, it will be.
If you keep the Fupa.
Yeah. May the Fupa be peaceful.
There we go. Mm-hmm. Keep the Fupa peaceful.
Yes.
Title of this one that'll never be listened. YouTube will kick that one right off.
Oh, for sure.
Fupa. Hashtag.
Yes.
Go on.
So then, the kids are talking in the background, and then the security ships are just like, are those kids in the background? No kids are allowed. And it's like, I mean, it kind of comes into play later, but it's funny because, so they land, and Jod is like, you kids got to stay on the ship because no kids are allowed. Right. And then he explicitly says, he said it in other episodes, but they're really pushing that point here this episode just because the turn happens. And he goes, you can trust me. He keeps telling him, you can trust me, you can trust me.
Yeah.
So they're really hounding that point now. But he says, stay on the ship. SM33 and I are going to go. You can trust me. And they're like, no, we're going with you.
Yeah.
So then he's like, okay, you guys can come with me, but you got to give me all of your credits. Whatever you got left, he takes all your credits.
Turn it over.
So they very loosely disguise the kids as what he calls wise elders. And I'm glad that they did an Obi-Wan Kenobi it, where it's a kid in a trench coat. Because, obviously everyone working in this resort knows it's BS.
Right.
They call him out on it. So I'm like, thank God they didn't just be like, oh, all these people at work here believe that is an adult. Like, thank God. So they all know what's going on.
Or they didn't like Muppets it.
Yeah.
Just like the Muppets on top of each other in a trench coat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they also say no weapons too. So they take Jod's knife, but then as they walk away, he uses the force to take the knife back, which the knife comes back later. It's the Schrodinger's knife.
Schrodinger's knife.
So that comes back later. And they even say droids are weapons, so they put a restraining bolt on poor SM-33.
Yeah, they sure do.
And then he starts to get pissed and like tries to like attack him, and it shocks him. So it's like he can't do it. Poor SM-33, man. But his SM's commentary as they're walking through the resort is great. They like walk past the harp, and he's like, "You can't play shanties on a harp."
I know.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then what else? They're talking about going to the buffet, and he's like, "Buffet, that's food for weaklings." Like, I love SM-33.
I know he was really pissed what happened to his Skull Ridge Mountain.
Yes. So they mentioned like there's more security in the resort right now because the banking clan is there. So it's fun to see the banking clan somehow survives the Clone Wars and the Empire.
I guess they did. Yeah.
And the banking clan are Munes, which is the same species as Plagueis.
It is. I saw them in the mud baths.
Yes, the Mune mud bath.
We got 2 Munes this year.
Yeah, one in Acolyte and a bunch in the mud baths.
One of the shows will get a second season.
I wish they both would.
Yeah.
So Jod keeps bribing the receptionist because she's calling him out. She's like, "Those are." She doesn't say it, but you can tell she knows that they're kids.
Of course,
like, it's not working.
Everybody knows.
So he just keeps throwing the credits at her, and he's like, "Just upgrade us to a suite." And she's like, "What's your name?" And they just pick a random person staying there.
Like that one,
Professor Gorlox.
Oh, Professor.
Yeah. So, a bounty hunter comes up, and I didn't know until Jedi Talk shared it that bounty hunter is the voice of Merida,
Kelly MacDonald.
Look at that!
I was so happy, and
I was like, that voice sounds familiar, and I never like looked it up. But as soon as you shared it, I was like, oh yeah.
I caught the familiarity as well, and I caught the Scottish/Irish accent there. Yeah. I caught that piece, but I'm like, okay, that's just the performer or
Me
the
too.
actor.
I thought it was just someone doing that accent,
right? Or that was a nationality of the actress,
or that. Yeah.
But then when I saw Star Wars posted, I'm like, fuck yeah, I love
cool.
Brave. So
I'm hoping her weapon is like Omega's weapon, where it's like a bow and arrow. That'd be a cool callback.
That would be cool
if it is.
She plays somebody evil here. Well, bounty hunter. I don't know. Evil.
She's pretty evil. Like bounty hunters can be Mando or they can be her. You know, like there's a spectrum of bounty hunters. But so they have a history too. She calls him a different name. She's like Dash Zenton.
Right.
So it's like another name for this guy.
Good Lord.
But then she's like, and then I asked everybody I knew, and they never heard of a Dash Zenton. So it's like this guy just throws aliases out.
Well,
and now he's Professor Gorlox. He's got another alias. They should just release that action figure in a different box with all these different names. Just don't change his clothes.
Ideas.
Don't change anything about the action figure. Just put the different name on the box every time. They should totally do that. So the bounty hunter eventually then calls out the kids too. She says, "Kids, you can't trust him." So like I said, I'm glad they're not just trying to say that this is selling to everyone that these are adults. Everyone knows that they're just kids, and then they're letting us know that too. So it's like, okay, you're not just being silly and stupid. It's obvious that this plan isn't working. But then the bounty hunter calls Brutus and sells him out. Sells out Silvo. So Brutus sends 2 ships.
Bunch of people who won't regret that trip.
No. So then another thing, like, I'm glad they're like, because we watched it the first time and we were texting in our group chat and I was like, oh, it's kind of silly at the beginning. But when I watched it a second time, it's like, it is silly, but in the universe, they're calling them out on their BS for being silly.
True.
So like, that is okay. Like if you're silly, but then everyone around in the universe is like, this is stupid, then it's fine.
Right.
But like I said, when it's Leia in a trench coat and no one bats an eye, stupid. But like the guards call out what's going on. They're like, Professor Gorlax, is it right? Is that you? And then they keep saying like details of him, like his name, his first name, whatever planet or whatever. I forget what all they say. And Jod's like, I don't know. If I say yes, is this guard lying? And then I'll be caught in the lie. Or if I say no, and it is this guy's name, he's caught in the lie. So then he's just like, run. So like they try to escape all the guards. And then they had split up into groups at this point too. So the other group with SM-33 finds this like massive, weird, giant creature guy.
Oh, yeah.
Cathalops was his name.
Yeah, it was basically
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, yeah.
But Cathalops.
The Call of the Cthulhu.
I like his mustache beard going on. He's like a walrus. I like what he's got going on. And there's like it's like, yeah, he kind of does look like that guy.
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah. So
if only he could have voiced him. Who the hell did I hit?
That would be great. So this guy just likes stories, apparently. Like women just telling him all these stories, and he's just like enamored. And so they find basically X marks the spot, and Cthulhu helps break open and the
he's just like, here we
smash. Cthulhu smash.
Cthulhu smash.
So they find X marks the spot, and they go down in this corridor, and the guards chase them down there too, and
they do.
And Brutus's pirates chase them down there too, which involves did
Urkel.
I do that? Yeah, Urkel.
Yep.
I thought he was gonna say, did I do that? When the guard got killed,
I'm glad he
I
didn't.
thought he was gonna.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't too.
Damn it.
But so he shoots one of the guards, and the guard falls into the booby trap and gets like spiked, dude. That was brutal.
He does. He got effed in the A.
Yeah. I thought, and that's when I thought he was gonna say, did I do that? But he didn't. So then they find another booby trap, which is like an acid pool, and then it's a pretty simple, like, I don't know, simple, what do you call it, like riddle. But then again, like a lot of people probably wouldn't think like a pirate.
The sacrifice, right?
Yeah,
right.
Because at first they're like, oh, you got to pay the ultimate sacrifice to get in, and they're like, oh, that means your life. And then,
that's that shit though. That's pirate shit. It's just like,
and then Jod and the kids are like, no, to the captain, life isn't a treasure. He kills people every day.
Right.
So they're like, treasure is the treasure.
It's money.
So they're like, they throw money in, and the acid dissolves. So then they get in to this big cave of wonders, this just treasure trove of things, and they're like,
which by the way, all of a sudden safe to walk on the acid. That's on the floor.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, even though it's not, you're swimming in it still, like it's still gonna burn through your boots a little bit. But
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know, it dissolved. I don't know. It's space acid. It's different than Earth acid.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
You don't watch Star Wars for science. We never. I know. There's explosions and fire and sounds in space. We never.
Whatever.
Yeah. So they get in there, and I forget where he says it, but I also wrote down SM-33 says R, and I'm like, you're my guy, man. I love you. I love you, 33. So then they find the coordinates, and then there's also a sick artifact in this treasure trove, and Wim sees it, and I'm like, that is a beautiful saber. That's got to come to docks eventually. It looked very High Republic-y.
Yeah,
it kind of did. It was very gold and elegant, and so Wim finds it, and we don't see him pick it up. We just see him kind of stare at it.
Right.
What are you doing, Winston?
He's okay.
What the?
He's got a limp. He's
it up.
He had like a soft tissue injury on his paw or his arm. He's fine. We took an X. We got him to get an X-ray. He didn't break it. He's just like, if he sleeps for a while, it's just like sore. It just gets sore. Yeah.
We've all been there.
He's good. We got him checked out. Yeah.
So they don't show Wim pick it up. He's staring at this lightsaber, and then you cut over to Neil. Neil kind of solves where to find the coordinates or whatever. So they play a hologram. A very muffled, you can't see.
Yeah, you can't see a
the
damn
captain.
thing. Yeah,
but the captain says what we said a while ago, where At-Aten is a mint. It's right.
Old
Republic mint.
Yeah.
So that's why it's full of treasure, and that's why all the people work in money. Like the kids a couple episodes ago, like, what's your mom do? She works in money. What's your dad do? Works for the bank making money.
They fucking print money.
Yeah, and they say that in this episode too. The kids are like, if you just print money, does that mean you get infinite money? And I'm like, oh, kids, you don't know how it works. Neither does the government anymore.
No, the real world government, Star Wars government doesn't get it. But I feel stronger and stronger, though, that this is connected to the rise of First Order somehow.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too.
Because with just unlimited money, of course Palpatine was printing credits.
Yeah, had to be.
Yeah.
But this, like we said, we all saw it coming. We've even mentioned, too, some of his names, if you put them together, Jod Silvo is like John Silver. Where he's a good guy, but he turns, but he's a bad guy, but he's a good guy still. Like, so we all saw it coming.
Yeah, he done turn on them kids.
It was so tense. Both times I watched it, it's so tense when you can just see him processing the information. Because he asks, like, SM-33, he's like, is the treasure on At-Aten? And Smee's like, yeah. He's like, aye. And he's like, is it an old Republic mint? And Smee's like, aye. So you can see the wheels turning in Jod's head.
Right.
And then the camera's behind him, and you still see him thinking. And then he just, like, slowly turns, and it's creepy how he just like turns on the kids, and he's like, I challenge the captain for the right of captain. And SM-33 is like, you battle to the death,
right,
dude?
Or either that, or she has to yield, right? She just says she yields.
You can yield, but SM-33 even says a couple times, it's the code, it's the pirate's code.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
But I'm like, SM-33, the code is more guidelines than actual rules, to quote Pirates of the Caribbean. But
true, but all leading up to this, he's been loyal to that.
Yeah, the code. He plays by the code.
He's a droid. It makes sense.
Yes. But even in like Pirates of the Caribbean 2, there are two trains of pirates. One is the code is guidelines, and then another that are like the code is law. Like, yeah.
Jude Law. Yeah. Hey,
Jude Law.
I'll see myself out.
But it was so tense both times.
Sorry.
I've watched it.
On.
But like he turns on him, and like Fern is like, she doesn't know what to do. And eventually she does try to fight him, but he uses the Force and stops the one little attack she tries.
Right.
And then he gets her by the, and has the knife at her throat. And he's like, just yield. So yield. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you're an adult and we're kids. You can't fight us. And it's like, he's a pirate, man.
I know.
And then it takes me back to Pirates of the Caribbean 2. In the first one, when Will is like, you cheated. And Captain Jack goes, pirate.
Right.
And then he's like, what they do. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a kid. It doesn't matter if they cheat. That's what they do. But it's man, that scene is great. I love that whole scene. It's so tense. And Jod's turn and Jude Law's acting is great.
It's good. I've enjoyed quite a bit of the performances from these folks.
But then, same. Then the music kind of swells and we get Wim coming up and Jod's like, this isn't one of your stories. And
right.
Just take it easy. What are you doing? And you see Wim is holding the saber.
Yep.
It's like, how is this going to go? And
I knew he was holding it upside down immediately when I saw it.
I was hilarious. Like,
they showed the bottom specifically.
Yeah.
And like, I know my sabers. I'm like, oh, that's the bottom of my lightsaber.
So, we know an emitter and a pummel. And we see one.
Yeah.
So he activates it and it's upside down. So it like shoots into the floor and shoots off. Thankfully, he wasn't like pointing it.
That was
like,
so
this
fucking
way.
funny.
If he was
I know.
holding
Oh my
it
God.
This way, he would have stabbed himself in the face if he was like holding it out.
Well.
But,
whoops.
Yeah. Anakin would be very happy with that.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
So the saber flies away, and then Wim just kind of, scurries off to sit with Neil and KB. So finally, Fern yields, thankfully, because we didn't want to see a kid get murdered on screen. And then he tells, Jod's now the captain, and he's like, SM-33, I need you to imprison this lot. And he's like, because of mutinous upon the captain. So SM-33 is going to like lock him up, put him in binders or whatever. But then they use the booby trap, the trap door to escape. So now we got the kids literally by themselves, all by themselves right now on this planet. Like how they get escape. They don't got a ship anymore. They don't got anybody. It's just them. So this is I don't know how they're gonna escape. I have no clue. And
it ends with, did you say?
Oh, I haven't said that. So then, we see it goes back to Jod. He uses the Force and grabs the saber. He activates it, man, dude. Oh,
off screen, though.
That was beautiful. But when we see it activated, what color is it? I can't tell if
blue.
It's blue or purple.
It's blue.
I couldn't tell.
It's blue.
Okay. It's blue.
Yep, that's right. Evan is colorblind, everybody.
I was hoping it was purple, but
that would have been badass.
Yeah.
Especially High Republic, they use the not so normal
and white and purple
all the time.
Yeah.
Damn, it was blue though.
Yeah. All right, that's cool.
At least that's what I remember. This is my favorite fucking episode, and I've only watched it once because
we can
Christmas.
If you want now,
yeah.
Is Christmas? Should you put it out at Christmas for viewership? Like, even though everybody loves the show, no one's talking bad about it.
And you mentioned ratings, and
how many people on Christmas Eve said, "Oh, stop everything, guys! We got to watch Skeleton Crew." I did, but like, I love the show. I don't think it's a smart idea to put out anything. I mean, I don't even know if Mandalorian would be good on Christmas Eve for the normies out there. Are the normies going to stop all their Christmas traditions, stop baking cookies or whatever they do, and go watch Mandalorian on Christmas Eve? I don't know.
So here's an interesting post that was deleted 10 days ago by someone on Reddit. Skeleton Crew has less views than The Acolyte.
What?
Don't expect a season 2. The only Star Wars live-action series that ever failed to chart before Skeleton Crew was The Acolyte.
But they're already talking about season 2.
Like, that was only from its 4th episode. I mean, but also, like, shows like Ahsoka didn't do good at first. No. I'm not talking about Ahsoka. Andor is one specifically where the people picked up on it as the seasons went along, and the season went along, and it's more.
Yeah,
people had more time for it to.
They also planned and announced ahead of time that Andor was gonna be 2 seasons because it was originally 4 or 5. And they said, no, this is going to be 2.
I think so,
So, like, we all knew that going in. But they've been talking about season. It's not official, but they've been talking about a season 2 for Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, sorry. That was my reminder to post the winner to our contest because it's 6:54 right now. So, yeah, go on.
Nice. But I don't know. They've talked about a season 2. I think they're going to do a season 2.
Of Skeleton Crew? I mean, right now, I don't see what not to be. And, I mean, again, like you said, positive things from the people I know who have watched this, who have been watching this.
And even all, like, the hate watchers on YouTube
Oh yeah,
they've been pretty quiet.
Right.
I haven't seen anybody hate review or hate watch it.
One of,
like,
if
everyone's
not,
quiet.
And I haven't seen this in a while, and I haven't checked out what he said in a while, but I know when it first came out. Star Wars Theory, who we talked about, we was in the battle with Star Wars Explained, and we sided with Theory because it sounded like Explained was doing some shitty shit, just being flaky and shit. But anyway, go listen to that episode. But I believe I saw him, and he's been very anti-Disney Star Wars, but he praised Skeleton Crew from the jump.
Nice.
So, like, giving it a fair shot. So,
yeah,
you're right. The haters, and I'm not calling him a hater.
No.
But the people who watch it just specifically to hate on it, it seems like that it's catching them a bit, you know?
Yeah, I haven't really heard any legit,
I'm sure it's
not
there.
legit, but non-legit, like, hate and complaint. I've heard a few people say, like, oh, maybe this part was kind of silly, or like, this part's not for me. But those are actual complaints.
Correct.
That's what you should do. But
Your
I haven't seen
preferences.
anybody just hate it for the sake of hating it.
Right.
So I don't know. But I don't know if doing a Christmas Eve release, and now a New Year's Eve, right? Is next week New Year's Eve?
Next week is New Year's Eve.
I know it's not going to be, the episode won't be dropping at midnight, but it's dropping at 9 p.m. Who
Might as well be midnight for fucking East Coasters.
Yeah, like who on 9 p.m. on New Year's Eve, aside from like me, is going to be like, wait, guys, put the drinks down, put away the hats. We're going to watch Skeleton Crew.
Me? Fuck that.
Well,
fuck
I know,
New Year's Eve.
Like, you're on the same level as me. I'm just saying, like, normies, though, I feel like it's going to kill their ratings and viewers to be like, let's put one on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I feel like they wanted it to fail. Like, if you're going to do that.
It's not.
That's 2 out of the 8 episodes. That's a fourth of your show on terrible dates.
Yeah, the argument. Did I just lose in my right ear?
I might have, too, I feel like.
Really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did.
Ooh, Winston got in trouble out there. It must be something to do with.
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, so
I got both headphones.
Okay, test. Interesting.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is streaming versus, like releasing. Like, let's say this was coming out in like 1998. Like you'd have to be parked in front of your TV.
Yeah, it'd be on like ABC or whatever.
Yeah, or like watching it drop, and they would count those viewers then, and you'd basically only be able to watch it again if it does a rerun or it comes out on video or something. This, thankfully, you can go back and watch. So I don't think they care so much because if people are going to do their stuff, let's say you wake up New Year's Day, you're hungover, you can watch it.
That's true. But most people are watching football New Year's Day, so it's like then
college
you're going
football.
up against that. Yeah.
I mean, what? You only got to spend 40 minutes.
True. The episodes are all 40 or less.
And you
minutes.
could stop and go back. So
yeah, it's a good point.
I get you though. It maybe it feels tasky for people, but also you and I are one of the few who are going to watch it right away, so we could chat about it right now. You know? And
I don't know.
I found it fun watching on Christmas Eve again because we did our Santa thing, and we went back and just like sat down, and by the time it was like 9 o'clock already, I'm like, yeah, let's watch Skeleton Crew, and I was already tapped into the Blackened. You saw me going off in our Halcyon Project chat, so so and then we watched it,
Yeah, and it was perfect for us, too, because we went to Galaxy's Edge and kind of bought piratey stuff and was doing, like, a pirate night. And then we got home basically, like, right at 9. We timed it pretty well and then turned on the episode. So we were already in that, like, mindset.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's not as bad as, like, if they were to release a spin-off movie for a solo character maybe the same month as an Avengers film that came out.
Right.
How stupid would that be if they ever did it? Oh, wait, they did do that. And so it's not as bad as that, but it's still kind of like, I don't know about this strategy. But
sure.
Hopefully we do get a season 2. They're talking about it. So it also depends how this one wraps up. If season 1 ends up like all the stories are perfect and there's nothing they can really do that makes sense, then leave it at season 1. So I don't know. It depends how the next 3 weeks go. But yeah, I don't know, man. Great episode.
My favorite thus far. And I know up there with some of yours.
Yeah. Because like I said, the first time I watched it, the silliness stuck out to me as like the bad kind of silliness. But then, like I said, the second time I watched it, I was like, oh no, it's fine because people are calling them out on their BS.
Sure.
So I'm like, this isn't silly then. So I'm like, this is fine. Cathalops is still kind of silly, but like Star Wars has always had one or two random silly aliens. You got Wargullet.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
I just got done watching, the Star Wars Holiday Special quite a bit. So
that's definitely the silly side of Star Wars.
The silly side. So let us know what you what you thought about Skeleton Crew at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah.
Anything more to say about it?
I don't know how the parents are going to get a message to the kids, because even if the kids were still on the ship, they wouldn't know how to contact that specific ship.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how are they going to get a message to anybody, let alone the kids specifically? And then how are the kids going to escape this death trap of a mountain by themselves with a force-wielding pirate and a bunch of other murderous pirates and a bounty hunter after them. Because the bounty was actually on the kids, too. I mean, it was kind of on Silvo, but like they specifically mentioned how the bounty was the kids'
those
bounty.
Pups too, you said it.
So, I don't know, dude.
Well, all those...
Good stuff.
Yeah. Great stuff. Great episode. I'm excited for episode 6. You know, it's Skeleton Crew is pleasantly surprising to me.
Me, too. I think I only watched like 2 trailers for the show when it was coming out. And then I was like, I'm not really excited or not excited. I was like, it's fine. And then I did watch the roundtable, and the roundtable made me excited. So,
yes, you did say that.
But that was like 2 days before it came out. So I really wasn't excited for the show at all until it came out.
Yeah.
But for me, it's my favorite show. And I've heard a couple people say for them, it's like Andor and Skeleton Crew are their like 2 favorites. So that's how you know that people are loving the show when they're putting it up there.
Right.
Above Mando. Like, people are starting to not even really talk about Mando.
Mm-hmm.
And some of it is recency bias. Mando hasn't done anything for a while. But
but Mando will be back in movie form.
Yeah.
So, want to run through this top 10?
Yeah.
I know we've been talking Skeleton Crew for quite a bit.
Yeah.
We've been at it about an hour, so let's just crush this top 10 real quick. It's just the 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us.
Hey, we can make it if we try. So this is a updated list for Evan and I. And we're bringing top 10s back, and I want to shout out to listener and good friend of the show, Mr. Jason. By the way, Jason, it's Garflex, and I'm going to say it. Say Garflex. It's not Grufflex.
I've always said Garflex.
Yeah, so have I, but he was saying it's the other one, but I'm not going to even, I'm just going to keep saying Garflex to piss him off.
Ah, okay.
Garflex. Garflex.
He doesn't get pissed off, I feel like. He's not a guy that ever gets riled up, I feel.
Nobody ever gets wild up, no.
Yeah. He's a very even-keeled gentleman.
Yes. So anyway, top 10. Favorite characters.
I'm trying to put them in order now because I never put the numbers next to them. I was like,
neither did I, but I'm going to do it on my...
Yeah, I'm like, here's my 10. Let me figure it out. And I never figured it out.
And this is our updated top 10 favorite characters. This is updated for us because I've got some different on my list. So let's... I have an honorable mention. This is going to be like oh shucks kind of thing. But I have multiple honorable mentions, Evan.
Okay.
You ready for these?
Because I might too, depending. So go ahead.
Okay. Mine are... They go by the names of Jax Volta, Vesper Grey.
Hey.
I think his name is Desh Kroltik. I don't know.
I love this bit.
Avant.
You just never know his name.
No, yeah. Avant Vilas Veric.
Maybe future captain. Who
yes. Taylor Yesmar. Just make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. Did I say Vesper Grey? Yes.
Yes.
Lias Orion.
You're forgetting one really annoying one that's always sticking in Veric's side. Can never... Even though they think they're besties, it's weird.
No, I'm not forgetting anybody.
Okay. I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
It finally Crimson dawned on me.
Yeah. And I guess. So, well.
Yeah.
But no, it's because I have a lot of fun doing what we do. So.
Yeah. What about Pike? Is he good enough for the honorable mention, or is he not?
No, fuck Pike.
Yeah, okay.
Pike's on hiatus too.
Pike.
Put
him on a Pike.
Put him on a Pike. I didn't miss any of our great characters, did I?
I don't believe so. I will. Shmi.
Bex. Yeah, Shmi.
There you go.
And Bex Melbeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bex is a loyal member of the cause.
Yeah.
I'm not forgetting Bex. We're just talking about the people who annoy me, and Bex doesn't.
No.
Bex is loyal. So those are my honorable mentions. Do you have one? If not, I'll kick it off with 10. Yeah,
I'll go honorable mentions, and pains me to say it because they're not in the top 10, but like the top 10 is so great for my favorites. I'll put Linkamak in there. I'll put Gaia in there.
Wow.
Put Wraithkul in there.
Wow.
I love those guys and gals, but they didn't make my top 10.
Yeah, I could see how that hurt you not doing that. So
it pains me.
All right. Speaking of number 10, I'll start. My favorite extremist, and thank God he's only in Star Wars, so it's fantasy, Saw Gerrera. Put him on there.
So who's your favorite extremist in real life?
Let's not go there.
Okay.
Me.
Yes, of course.
So Saw Gerrera, the partisans, such a cool concept of being the rebels, but turned up a notch. So, and he gave some inspiration to the cause. And actually, the name of the cause I got directly from a Saw Gerrera quote. So,
ooh, I don't know if I knew that.
In Fallen Order.
Do you have the quote pulled up?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, in Fallen Order, when he's talking to Cal and the partisans and the Wookiees that we just freed, he's like, "We are not lost," and he goes, for the cause.
Nice.
So,
okay.
and when I saw them, I'm like,
and he doesn't say for the rebellion. Like,
no,
he makes
doesn't.
a point not to say for the rebellion.
Right.
Nice.
He says for the cause. Yeah. So what's your number 10?
Number 10. I'm trying to phrase this. How should I phrase this? I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good way to say it backwards, like Yoda would say, because he's my number 10.
All right, then.
My number 10, Yoda is.
There you go.
Yeah. But
okay.
I don't know. He's great in The Empire Strikes Back,
and
they use him kind of sparingly in that, and then Return of the Jedi a little bit, but he hasn't become oversaturated, but he's been in a lot of stuff, and the more stuff he's in, the more I really like him, especially The Last Jedi. Like, we talked about how, with our buddies Cigars in Space,
that's right.
That made me like Luke better. It also made me like Yoda better.
It's fair.
And Yoda's best stuff is probably in The Last Jedi.
Oh, that's some good
he's
shit
like
there.
The greatest teacher failure is. We are what they move beyond, I think he says. Something like that.
Yeah, something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
He also said Purple Monkey Dishwasher.
Of course, yeah. That's his best quote.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's just given.
Yeah.
But, he's used a lot, too. He was on The Halcyon. His stuff in The Halcyon's good.
Good
his
point.
His stuff in Tales of the Galaxy's Edge. That's a really cool little side story when he's in, so. He's
also in your favorite show, Young Jedi Adventures.
Yeah, I do like Young Jedi Adventures, and he is in that. He's okay in that.
We've been having a lot of fun playing Star Wars Outlaws, so that makes my number 9 K-Vess.
Oh, wow.
I've been playing enough K-Vess recently, and this could be recency bias. But there's a lot to this character. There's a lot to K-Vess.
Well, she's a part of the Constellation.
And she's not just this like scoundrel. She does not want to work with the rebellion, and that's Lias, So the fact that we're seeing it in real canon Star Wars, even though I think Lias is, but in more media, like a character like that's, fuck the Empire, but fuck the the rebellion too. You're not doing goddamn shit for me.
No,
I'm only looking out for myself, and it's refreshing to see in a sense.
Yeah,
that people don't have to always think one of two ways. I like those characters a lot. So K-Vess is number 9.
That is nice. And the more shows that come out, the more we see the rebellion's not perfect. The New Republic obviously isn't perfect. And they're pointing these things out. And that's kind of pissing a lot of people off for some reason, because they don't like to be like, oh, the good guys are perfect. Like, they're not perfect. No one's perfect.
I would love to get Umberly Gonzalez on the show to talk to her. She's the voice actress of K-Vess.
That would be amazing.
If you're listening, Umberly.
So my number 9,
yes,
he actually would probably align his thoughts with that a lot in Count Dooku, because he leaves the Jedi Order. He's not a Jedi anymore, but he's one of the least Sith of all Sith, if that makes sense. Because he's not evil for the sake of evil. He's not about total, power, whatever Palpatine says, unlimited power. He's not about that. He's not trying to take over the galaxy. Like, he joins Palpatine because he sees the Jedi are wrong. They're doing the wrong thing. They're too high up on their tower, not helping out everyone in the galaxy. Yeah. We see it a lot in Tales of the Jedi.
We do.
I think that is really what I'm playing off of a lot in my love for Dooku. Like, I already liked him.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that little arc of him really made him a great character.
That was that was good shit. I need to go back and watch those.
A lot of Count Dooku love was carried by just Christopher Lee being awesome. For me and everyone else, it's like, we just love him because he's Christopher Lee. And then Corey Burton in the Clone Wars does a great job of carrying that too. But I think the Tales of the Jedi episodes are what really made him a great character. Not just a cool actor or a cool voice actor. It made him a great character.
And that giant chin.
Yes. And his saber is awesome too. Hey. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's great. Both of them.
Yeah,
got
the
them
blue
up there
coup.
on the wall. Blue Coup. Count Blue Chew.
Count Blue Shoe. Blue Shoe.
Count Blue Shoe.
Yeah, of course.
And my number 8, we'll go with Cara Dune. Disney Disney, the Cara Dune blackout ended in the Timelines book, which I ordered, by the way. It's on its way.
Ooh, nice.
So we can break it down here on the podcast. I have a daughter, and I want her to look up to strong women. She's already looking up to my wife, but like on media, especially with Star Wars, the first woman I'm going to obviously, here's Princess Leia, here's Rey.
Yeah.
But I want to say, here's Cara Dune. She's not a Jedi, she's not Force sensitive, but she's strong, and she just kind of,
she's not just strong.
She's
badass.
She's badass, and the point I was trying to get to is like, she's gonna grow up and watching like the Cinderellas and like the prince always coming to save the princess. Like, Cara Dune don't need no fucking prince to come save her, kind of sense. She'd beat your ass and steal your lunch money too.
She's especially gonna watch Mufasa, of course, the greatest film of all time.
Forgot it was out.
Yeah, as you should, because no one cares.
Next, what's your number 8?
I had to get that in there.
I know
you're gonna love my number 8, but be mad he's not lower, higher, whatever you want to say on this list. But Anakin and Vader. He used to be my favorite before the sequels existed. Like when I was a little kid, I grew up a Vader guy. I was never a Luke guy or a Han guy. I was a Vader guy.
Okay.
So Vader is just, he's awesome. He's the maybe best villain of all time. Since like cinematic movie villain.
Fair.
Hard to argue against him, the Joker. Like those are like up there.
Fair.
You know? I think when we did like our top villains of like Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, of course we all said Vader, but like we all were same page. We're like,
oh sure.
You mentioned iconic villains, you're gonna think Vader.
Yeah.
So he's up there.
Completely agreed.
And then Anakin made him a better character too. Like I said with Dooku, it's like Vader was already awesome and a badass, but to get more of him, to see him as Anakin in the Clone Wars and in the prequels, it's just, and now in Ahsoka too. Like the more we get of Anakin and Vader, the better he gets, the deeper and richer his story gets.
That's right. That's right. More on that later. My number, we are on 7, right? I will go. Here's somebody that was not in my top 10 recently, but he has since I've grown older.
You've grown.
I've grown older.
Admiral
Grown. Since I've grown older, and since I've also kind of shaped my Star Wars character a certain way, but Han Solo. You know, Han Solo, he wasn't in it before, but he is the epitome, essentially, of just doing what you fucking want, you know, especially in his younger years, his scoundrel, like, fuck the Empire, you know, fuck you. I mean, he's a little, you know, squeamish in the sense where he's not paying people back and stuff, but, you know, kind of guy on the lookout for himself, you know, doesn't want to follow the law. It's unjust to begin with. Fuck taxes. So it's like, it's, you know, I don't know. It's Han is just, he's more than just like he's more than just the good look Harrison Ford, right? He's more than just that. Han Solo is a very deep character, and you know, The Force Awakens, you can make a lot of arguments about what that did for his character, but Han Solo served a purpose to propel the next big bad in Star Wars.
Yeah. And I mean,
he doesn't have a terrible story arc. There's so much more to that character, and I've come to respect him more as time goes on. As I dive more into Star Wars lore and get away from, like, the Jedi thing, when you get the world more, you know, playing Outlaws, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like, because you're not doing anything with Jedi in that.
Yeah, I mean, Lando's in it, so that's, like, tangentially Han. They could do a Han DLC one day. What if Han shows up at Sabacc?
We're playing it. We'll eventually see Han.
That's true. He can't play Sabacc.
In my game, I can travel to Jabba's palace at any time I wanted to and just go watch him.
Nice.
Just go sit there and look at Han. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look longingly into his eyes.
I could.
Beautiful.
I could. All right. What's your number 7?
Number 7 is he's the most recent character to come into knowledge in this list is Jod Silvo or Captain Silvo.
Didn't see
Crimson
this coming.
Jack, or whatever you want to call him, but loving him because he's a pirate. He's kind of a bad guy. He's not a Jedi, but he's a Force wielder. Now he's got a badass lightsaber. So what's not to love about him? Yeah, he's a good villain. I love villains, as you all know.
Yeah, I didn't put anybody from Skeleton Crew on here because it's not finished yet.
How many villains do I have on my list? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Potentially spoilers for my list.
I don't have any.
1, 2.
I don't.
I'll count Anakin as 1 because Anakin Vader. So 1, 2, 3. I'll count Silvo as 1, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 on my list.
Tap dancing Christ.
Yes.
Well, no one would ever know how evil you are when you know what your posts about Disney and stuff. So
I oppose the evil of them.
Yeah, exactly. All right, my number 6. My number 6 is going to be Nemec. He was on my last one.
I try not to laugh.
Short. Why? Because it makes sense.
No, because
what?
Because he just gets crushed by money. Like,
yes. The thing that they're trying to steal.
Scrooge McDuck dives into money and survives.
It's a fucking cartoon.
So is Nemec.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's real.
Because he'd be entertaining.
Do you not understand how gravity works? I keep bringing this up.
I do, but come on. All the ways to go out.
Yes. And?
Lame.
Shakti died worse, okay?
Well, she's died like 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's worse.
I don't know. I think the canon death is Anakin killed her.
I think you're right.
That's a pretty awesome death. That's not worse.
Sure. But it looked like shit because they didn't finish the editing.
Yeah. I like to say Grievous did. I like that better, but because I love Grievous.
You do love Grievous. I wonder if it's going to end up on your list. But Nemec, yes. The man with the manifest. And I listened to this on the way to our events last October.
You can tell. in a good way.
Yeah. I get emotional listening to his, the try speech, the remember this. I get emotional listening to it because you could paint that to a lot of stuff just in your life personally. It doesn't have to be what he's talking about. It doesn't have to be authoritarianism or, jackasses fascists who want you to live the life that ways they see fit, right? It doesn't have to be that. It could be a lot of things. It's just like, remember this. So nice. I love it. It's a good message, and Andor is fantastic. Fuck you, Kyle.
See, and this isn't me doing a bit. I forgot he had like a speech. Like I was like, I remember the lady doing a speech.
Jesus Christ.
I remember the brick lady doing a speech, but I didn't remember Nemec did one. So that I definitely need to go watch it.
Well, we're going to be doing it.
Yeah, we can't do it super close to Celebration because I'm going to be more gearing up for Tokyo.
Right.
But if we do one like a month before, I can probably.
Well, as soon as Brad gets back,
yeah,
we need 12 episodes to do it. So we've got, 3 months. We need 3 months to do it.
Oh, geez. So we got to start like
soon. So Brad, get your ass back once you get your penis out of that Chinese finger trap.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. What's your number 6?
It used to be the T-Rex dinosaurs, at T-Rex Cafe. So
yes.
At least he's moved on from the Triceratops.
We'll see. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is the man, the cyborg we mentioned already. It was General Grievous.
Nah, he's on my shirt.
Yeah, nice. Mm-hmm. But he's one of those that there's not a lot out there, and I don't want him to go super deep into him.
Correct.
That's sole character.
Whoa,
you nailed it.
Thank you.
It's more.
You don't want him to. You don't want to go super deep into Grievous. I thought you liked Grievous.
No, it goes the other way around. He can go super deep.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Like a panther. Go on.
There we go. But it's just I want them to give some of his backstory, but I don't want him to become oversaturated where it's like his entire backstory and now he's a sympathetic villain. It's like he's really a good guy. We don't want that. Like I want him to stay a villain, just like evil warrior who's a badass.
Fair.
And like his best stuff, my favorite stuff of him is in that 2D Tartakovsky series. That was like what made me fall in love with him.
You do love that.
But they brought some of that badassery back in Tales of the Empire. Like that's Grievous for me. That stuff is crazy. That's him. And his original theme is really badass from that 2D series, but the John Williams theme is also badass because it's John Williams. And there's a guy on YouTube who put them both together. And Grievous's theme is one of my favorite themes.
Very cool.
And of course, we collect lightsabers, so it's like
we do.
You're my guy, Grievous.
Yeah, because he collects quite a few.
Yeah.
We need all the Grievous sabers.
That's what he does on Festivus. Is he airs his General Grievances.
Oh man, yeah. There it is, right there, General Grievous.
The joke that
General
everyone
Grievance.
else has made. Before.
I know.
Yes.
I know. So my number 5, your focus determines your reality. For the first time,
Silvo?
No, fuck you. Qui-Gon Jinn is making my list because the more and more the older I get, the more and more Qui-Gon is right. All this, the defying of the council, all that stuff. And the more you find out about him, it's just, how can you not be on my favorite list? And I feel like Qui-Gon was like the dying breed of what the Jedi were, even before the High Republic, because we were seeing corruption within the High Republic. So
yeah, he was born at the wrong time. He should have been born at that beginning of the High Republic.
That's right.
He would have flourished. He would have thrived.
Right.
But he is like the ideal Jedi. That's what they should be, is him.
That's right.
And that's kind of how I feel about Dooku. Dooku went the wrong way, but he was along the same lines as Qui-Gon.
Correct.
Like he was what the Jedi should be.
Correct.
And they both saw the problems on the Jedi, and Qui-Gon was going the right way about it. Dooku went the wrong way about it, and that's the duality of Star Wars.
That's right.
It's beautiful.
Tell me your dualities. More than a dream. What's your number 5?
Number 5, I don't remember where he was. He was in my top 10 last time, but he's top 5 is Captain RX-24 or DJ Rex.
I wonder where he was last time on your list.
He might have been back 3, I want to say.
But yeah, DJ Rex.
Yeah, Captain Rex, DJ Rex, the original Captain Rex.
The original.
I love you, clone Captain Rex. You're still awesome, but the original Captain Rex, not in timeline.
So,
but yeah, he's awesome because I don't know, he was like the first thing we all saw that was like, wow, Star Wars is real. It's right there in front of me. Like I can see a droid, and now his I almost said his species, but his class of droid is getting more love in Skeleton Crew. They're driving buses.
Sure are. They are. That. Driving buses on the socialist planet.
A demotion. I wouldn't say it's a promotion.
Going from pilot to
socialist bus driver.
That's right.
But he's in the logo now. He's in the frickin'
the Disney
Plus logo.
I'm sure you get a nice chubby every time you see that.
whenever he disappears, I'm going to be like, because every time I'm watching, I'm like, is he still there? Okay, he's still there. He's going to disappear one of these times.
I know.
He's probably only in the Skeleton Crew logos.
He's getting replaced by the credits that killed Nemec in the opening
probably.
of Bandor. My number 4, the only Halcyon character that's on here, and I think she's jumped up. Do you want to take a guess who my top? You know who my favorite Halcyon character is.
Yeah. I think this is perfect because it ties into my number 3.
Well, my number 4 is Captain Riola Keevan.
Yeah, she's my number 3.
There you go.
Look at that.
So you didn't do your 4 yet, so we could talk about my 4 and your 3.
Yeah.
Right? So Captain Keevan, the story goes, and she was already rising on my list, but then my second and final, didn't know it was final at the time, my final trip on the Halcyon, and I've said this story so much on air, and I'm sorry if you've heard it again, but I've got to say it because we're talking about her. She legit changed my mind. Not just Elias's mind, but Tom's mind. She took my character a different way in that moment. And I was so moved by it.
Yeah.
And that she humbly reminded me that it was, the Mon Mothma that ousted Leia, from the Senate. So I was just like, God fucking damn it, she's right. Mm-hmm. Because Elias was vengeful to try to get some sort of counsel with Leia. So that's why I was speaking to Keevan at the time. Because I was talking about the cause. I was talking about not believing completely in the resistance because the rebellion failing beforehand, letting us get to this point. And Elias's backstory is mad at Mon Mothma. So when Keevan shared that with me, it clicked for Elias, but also clicked for Tom to say, like, well, shit, she's, you got, see it a little bit different light. So changed it up. So Captain Keevan, I will forever be grateful for that.
Did Elias ever find out that Keevan knows Leia?
Yes.
Met Leia?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I was talking to her. That's why I was talking to her.
Did Elias find it out on the ship?
No,
okay.
He knew ahead of time.
He just already knew from his research, or because he knows.
Yes,
he knows
yeah.
Okay.
I already knew ahead of time.
Dang.
So
that's so cool, and that's the beauty of those actors, those characters, that environment. It changed your character.
Yep, it was fun stuff,
and that was the whole point. Of the big story doesn't change. Kylo's still going to come on, still going to lose. Rey's still going to take the holocron. That doesn't change. But that's not your story.
No.
Your story changes. That was the whole point of
it. And also that I look back on that, and I'm not just being dramatic here, as like a nice life moment for me, because it humbly reminds you to always see everybody's point of view.
Yeah.
And always...
That's like the captain's biggest point on the ship, too.
It is, yeah. It is.
She at the end, she's like, allegiances are a powerful thing. Like, we all think we're doing the right thing in that moment. So it's like we can't fault you for doing what you think is the right thing in that moment.
Saja Fenn told me that too on that same trip.
Yeah. Some of the Saja really buy into that too. Most of them. It's kind of like the whole message of that storyline is like see everyone's point of view. And they all say that about Croy too. They're like, hey, Croy thinks he's doing what's right, guys. Like, he's not a bad guy.
I had a lot of people tell me that to Croy my second voyage, but we'll move on. What's your number 4?
People would mention that to me too because I was playing a First Order character. So they would just be like, hey, man, like, you're probably doing what you think is right, and so is Lieutenant Croy. Like, most of the Saja said that kind of thing to me. So it was that same idea. And Captain Keevan said that thing to me a few times.
That's right.
But she's at my number 3 for all those same exact reasons.
That's right.
My number 4, though, is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Or Old Ben Kenobi.
Ah, Ben Kenobi.
Yes. Hello there. But he is not the ideal Jedi, because that, like we've said, that's probably Qui-Gon and Dooku, but he has gone through the most amount of loss of any Jedi and never gone dark. Like, he's gone through so much and stuck it out.
He really
the course.
has.
Like, he kept pushing through, kept his head up. Like, he's seen and been through so much, but he just never fell to the dark side.
Yeah, that's right.
It's insane. And, like, even if you just watch the movies, he's been through so much. But when you see the Clone Wars, when he has Sabine die in his hands, like, and he couldn't stop Maul from killing her, he couldn't do anything about it. So he sees that happen, and then she dies in his hands. That right there would be enough to make any other Jedi probably go to the dark side. We've seen it 100 times. Like, he never does. And of course, like, it doesn't hurt to have Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor and James Arnold Taylor perfectly portray this awesome character. But he's a deep character with great actors portraying it.
Hard to argue with all that about Obi-Wan, especially with, Obi-Wan didn't make my list, but it could have.
Yeah.
Could have, easily. And I'm also trying to not obscure characters, because especially the ones in my top 3 are not obscure. But Obi-Wan seems like a layup, right? He's a lot of people's favorite. And it's valid to be your favorite, but yeah, he's such a... And we got to meet him. Brad and I did, yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately, you're working that day. That blows.
I know.
That's okay.
I love Cameron, of course, but if I could have picked, I would have picked meeting Ewan before Cameron.
Sure, I get that. He's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I mean, I could see him at this next celebration for all we know. Who knows?
That's right. My number 3. These 3 have not changed since last time. These 3 stay firm in my top 3 Star Wars characters because they mean a lot to me. And the first will go with, she is no Jedi, but Ahsoka Tano. Mm-hmm. I believe Ahsoka could probably take over my top spot in due time, especially since I now have a girl. She was walking around with my 2 Ahsoka sabers a few months ago in the Ahsoka outfit that we bought her. So it's like, that kind of stuff is huge to me.
Yeah.
But Ahsoka Tano is somebody who walked away from the Jedi Council, and she's Anakin's Padawan. Like, it's such a fantastic fucking story there. The character herself has been through so much. It's an inspiration, and just to get to see somebody grow from a character that was hated, essentially out the bat, and now she's fucking beloved. Yeah. And the people, who bring her to life, from Dave Filoni to Ashley Eckstein and Rosario Dawson, I think they're all fantastic picks. Ashley and Rosario are perfect for it, right?
Yeah.
And then thank you, Dave, for creating such a character that little girls growing into women can look up to, as a Jedi, like another one.
And then, if they live in California, they can actually meet him.
There you go.
Yeah.
You always had to throw that fucking shit in. So,
yeah.
I can say a lot about Ahsoka.
If they do ever bring her here, though, like seeing Lily with her is going to be incredible. If they ever do bring her here, maybe with season 2 or maybe with the Mando movie, we'll get lucky and get her. But I don't know. Has Lily ever seen her in Disneyland?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We went the first year.
I couldn't remember.
I took a selfie with her for Star Wars night.
Nice.
Because she called out. I can't remember if you remember this. I had my Lias vest on.
Yeah, I remember this part of the story.
And she came up and said, good to see a supporter, and she pointed at the cause patch, which is just a kind of just a modified fulcrum, which I just put Metallica's Ninja Star right in the middle of it. So, that was cool. So, what's your number 3?
Yeah, my number 3 was
Kevin.
Yeah.
So I'll go to my number 2, and it's Cal Kestis. I'm a ginger. He's a Jedi. Fallen Order, that was one of the biggest things I felt like I brought to the podcast when I joined right away. It was like I was the Fallen Order guy, so I was bringing a lot of that lore in.
Yep.
And talking about a lot of that. Survivor, he's such a rich character now. Fuck. Yeah. After Survivor, the loss he went through with Seer, and his first master, Jared DePaul, and now he's got a Padawan with, he's the Padawan that he has is the daughter of the guy he just killed. And
she's kind of a daughter, not really just a Padawan. She's kind
both.
of his daughter.
And the adopted daughter of Marin and Cal.
Yeah.
Like the way this family came together. I love stories about untraditional families coming together.
Yeah.
Does
that make Grandpa Grease right there, right? Does that make him the grandpa?
Grandpa Grease?
Dude, I love that.
Shit, yeah.
That's so good.
Let's go. BD1.
See the uncle?
No.
What's BD1?
BD1's the dog that's just like smarter than everybody else.
Yeah. As BD72 is.
Yeah. BD72 is staring you down, making sure you don't do shit. Yeah.
I know.
What's your number 2?
He wants me to say BD72. That's what he wants me to say.
You better fucking say it. He's going to shoot you in the face.
I can't say it. I
That's
can't tell a lie.
That's okay, BD. Back off.
I'm notorious for saying I cannot tell a lie.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Very good.
That wasn't Abe Lincoln or...
Nope.
No, that was me.
I cannot tell a lie.
Yeah, obviously. But we're both from the Midwest, him and I. I think he's
Illinois.
officially from Illinois, but, Midwest. He lived in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Oh, did he?
For a while. We have a Abraham Lincoln Museum because there's nothing else to do in that city.
There's more than just corn in Indiana. I keep telling you that.
Indiana Beach, huh? You know of that?
Yeah, speaking of Indiana, man.
Did you ever go to Indiana Beach?
Yes.
That place is trash, dude.
I went to Indiana Dunes.
Okay, that's like next door, kind of.
Yeah. I just remember I was able to see the Chicago skyline from the dunes.
Yeah, it's kind of close.
Yeah.
Man, a side tangent. What were you gonna say? You said speaking of Indiana.
Oh yeah. I might be talking about Indiana's hidden gem of basketball in the upcoming episodes. So look out, Austin. You fuck.
Hey-os.
Number 2.
Number 2 is the Lieutenant Croy. The Lieutenant Croy. He is for all the similar reasons Croy. With you and Kevin. Like Croy never changed my character or anything, but he had conversations with Avant Varick. He had times where he made Avant feel like he was that important.
Okay, so obviously not only are you in support of these troopers being in the brig, you're tearing this poor family apart.
God, I think that might have been the hardest I ever laughed on the hell scene.
Oh, it probably was.
God
it probably was. And I didn't see that moment, but he made me belly laugh and laugh hard so many times on the hell scene too. But he had those moments of comedy, but he also had moments where he made my character feel like, and I guess me in turn, like I was that important and I was crucial to whatever he was doing, and he needed me. I was there for him, and he was there for me. All the things you said with Kevin, same idea. You just take that over to Croy, and there's
and they 69'd in the corner.
Of course, every corner, not just the corner.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that wasn't the drop I thought it was. Fuck you, Travis.
But I can never say enough love for Croy, and I do all the time. But you know,
I do know.
You know.
My number one was a crossover with what you said earlier, but it's half of the crossover. My number one is Anakin Skywalker, not Darth Vader. Darth Vader did some bad things.
Yeah, I get that. Like, you're not one of the people, I feel like, that are like, oh, they're two different people. But in this instance, you're saying Anakin is your favorite character.
Yes.
Yes.
They're not, I don't think they're two different people in a sense where they're, like, Anakin's innocent for what Vader does. He's not.
That's what I'm saying. There are people that are just like, oh, they're literally different human beings. I'm like, no, they're not.
They're the same person, just in different periods of their life.
Yeah.
Anakin may have turned, but he still paid for the crimes of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So Anakin Skywalker, from the jump of when we meet him in Phantom Menace up until he yeets Mace, even though I hate Mace, out the window, right? He helps with that. That's Darth Vader to me. He gets when he gets knighted as Vader by Palpatine. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Anyone who says it's when he rises in the machinery, I mean, let's talk about that. But it's when Palpatine.
That's when he's
tells him to fucking rise.
Looking Vader, but his name is Darth Vader. When Palpatine says, "You are now Lord Vader."
I'd love it if he. How cool would a Star Wars What If be? I mean, I don't want him. No. I don't. But just thinking of if he had beaten Obi-Wan and he didn't need the robotic shit and stuff like evil Anakin. But anyway, Anakin to me represents a lot. He makes it, and my favorite characters growing up were like Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because he had a temper and I had a temper. So it's like I was like, I never saw characters like that I could relate to. In that sense, it's like, because I didn't know why I had a temper, and obviously ADHD had a lot to do with it. And my environment around me had a lot to do with it too. So now I understand it. But
Jimmy's a tough planet.
Yeah, it is. It is, especially when you're getting beaten in the snow over there.
Yeah,
like, but I could say it, guys.
Yeah.
So and it's just like and Anakin, right? Highly emotional. Didn't get along with everybody, kind of thing. It's just anger is part of him, and I battle and I'm looking at my Metallica patch. I argue and defend the Saint Anger album a lot from them that people give shit on because it talks and it tries to normalize anger as like just an okay, like an emotion that you need to accept, like an emotion that needs to be respected, right?
Yeah.
It's like understand where it comes from. And Anakin he struggled so much. He just wanted to be accepted. He didn't think he didn't want to believe he came from nothing. And even as a 9-year-old, he was so hopeful and so joyous.
And he was a freaking slave.
Yeah.
A literal slave.
He was a literal slave, and he just needed, the world to treat him well. And it really didn't, and he never got a chance to hone his feelings where he could control them and not be swayed so easily.
Yeah.
Now, he wasn't swayed super easily. Palpatine did a lot to get him to there, and the environment did a lot to get him to there as well. But I like the complex characters, and I wouldn't have liked Anakin Skywalker if it was just Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Even though Revenge of the Sith has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
My fucking God, the Clone Wars fills in the best parts of that stuff, and then so does Brotherhood and a lot of other novels out there.
He's really good in Brotherhood.
He is. I love that Anakin.
Yeah.
That's
like peak Anakin.
Yeah, Clone Wars Anakin, great shit too.
Yeah. So if you take Anakin at his peak, and I'm not just like in Force ranking powers, he's the highest. I'm not like saying that. I'm just like peak Anakin in terms of peak character. He's great. Like Anakin at his best is like the hero you want. He's the iconic hero you think of when you think movie hero.
Right. Just think about,
and all those moments we don't really see in the movies, his big heroic moments. But like still, when you think movie or cinematic hero, peak Anakin comes to mind. He is that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus what we got of him in Ahsoka. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, that's why he was in my list too. But I talked about the Vader side of him more.
And I'm so happy I got to meet him at MegaCon 23.
Yeah.
God, looking at the picture now.
He's got a Jedi Talk shirt.
He does?
Yeah.
I just hope he could wipe his ass with it. As long as he's using it, I don't care.
Yeah, as long as he uses it.
Evan,
Who cares?
I think I know what your number one is, but
You do.
tell us what your number one is.
My number one hasn't changed. I do remember that.
Didn't think so.
The other 10, I can't remember where they were. Some of it has changed, but number one, at least since 2015, has been Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Figured.
Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Just that? What about Ben Solo? Do you do a Ben Solo Kylo Ren or?
I treat him the same way as Vader, I guess. I just didn't write down Anakin, Vader, and then Ben, Kylo. But same
kind
thing.
Of fan are you?
Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. The side I like of him way better is Kylo Ren. But with Anakin, Vader, we just made a case for both. I love both sides of him equally. But I love Kylo Ren's side of Ben Kylo more than I do the Ben side of Kylo.
We don't have enough Ben, in my opinion.
Yes,
not
is
enough
true.
Ben.
We need it most likely have to be animation, but we need more of Ben going to the temple with Luke.
Do we need more Ben Diggin, though?
Oh, always need more Ben Diggins.
Check that intern.
Yeah, dude.
Diggins? It's Diggins or Diggin?
I think it's Ben Diggin.
Ben Diggin.
Ooh, I can't remember. I'm a bad fan.
You, of all people, don't know that?
I
Fuck
should
off
know
this
that.
podcast.
Yeah, my bad.
Go start your own podcast, the Dino Intern Hour.
Not that name, but I literally was thinking about doing like my own podcast where just like the niche things that I love. I was thinking about it.
That would do well.
I don't know. People probably don't care.
You underestimate people who listen to podcasts.
True.
Jedi Talk has lasted this long. People care about God knows what.
Yeah, that's true.
Somehow. And thank you for listening.
What I care about is Kylo Ren, though.
Yes.
But since 2015, when he's in The Force Awakens, his introduction shows you everything you need to know about that character right then and there. And then that whole movie really does, too, because he kills Han Solo, and that's a huge moment for his story and Rey's story and the sequel story going forward. Like, if he doesn't kill Han, you don't take him seriously.
Right.
And there's a lot of dumb fans that didn't anyway, but like that's them being stupid. Because how can you not take the guy that kills Han Solo seriously?
That's true.
Especially since it's his own dad too. It's not just some guy. He kills his own dad, and he hesitates a little bit, but it's not like with Leia, where he hesitates to the point of not doing it.
Right.
He actually does hesitate, but then pushes the button, pulls the trigger,
he does.
and kills his dad.
Yeah, so a little bit easier for him to do that there.
Yeah. So that's not, I don't love him because he killed his dad. I'm just saying a big moment for that character. And I was a Vader guy growing up, like I said, but seeing this new design of not basically Darth Vader, but you know what I'm getting at, where it's like the next evolution of a Darth Vader-like character was really cool to me. And especially because Brad says it a lot too, where they took a fanboy of Darth Vader, but made it a character and made it make sense.
That's right.
And it makes sense because now we've got all these other relic raiders and collectors and Dakandar. Kylo Ren kind of started as that, where they had him as like a Sith relic collector in the concept.
That's true. That's
how
true.
he kind of started, and in a roundabout way, they kind of got
there. That's a good point.
Off screen, they got there in the books and comics.
That's Star Wars,
collecting
though.
stuff. Yeah,
That's
so they kind of got there. But his design's awesome. The actor's awesome. The lightsaber's awesome. Iconic.
Saber's fantastic.
Very iconic.
Good list. I had fun doing this.
Hell yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, you guys have been great. We've been Jedi Talk. Thank you for following us at Jedi Talk Podcast. Thank you for contributing in the contest. I reached out to the winner. I'll be transferring that soon. Evan, you got anything left to say as we sign off today?
Don't think so, man. We're going to be counting down next week. Not till New Year's Eve. We're going to be counting down till Skeleton Crew.
We'll see you in 2025. Have a fantastic new year. May the Force be with you.
Always, and to Buite.
Rise, Jedi Knight.
Zilla should have been number one.
The fuck she should have.